Hey, I'm director, producer, editor, Maya Table, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's get started. So I think that my breakthrough moment is still happening. It's happening right before our eyes. I went to school to direct, but then I started producing, and that took up years and years of my time because I just wasn't ready to fully start directing. So I was directing for like Target and Walmart stroller products. But about a year and a half ago, my sister was in the Peace Corps in Mozambique. So I went to visit her. We went to Cape Town. I took a photo, and then before I posted it, I muted the colors because I felt like, everyone's muting their colors. That's the look to go for. And my sister was like, I noticed that you muted your colors. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I did. That's like the story of my life, like shrinking myself. And then so I decided, let me just stop producing and take a chance on myself as a director and really find out what my style is. And so I realized I was attracted to bright colors. And so in 2019, I just put all my efforts into building my director's portfolio. I moved back in with my parents. I stopped renting out my office, my workspace, just to rebuild my portfolio in 2019. In 2020, even through a pandemic, I've been triple booked since then. And what people always say is that we love your comedy beats and how you show people of color. And so all that is, my style. Everyone sees my brightness. So my breakthrough moment is happening. It really started to happen when I started to put myself first. So last year, February, right before the world shut down, my uncle Poochie is a vegan, and he dresses like a pimp every single day. He's been like that my whole life. And so he and I have been wanting to start to document him and take pictures of him, because whenever I would tell people about my uncle, they thought that it was so fascinating. And so one day he came over to pick up his fur coat. He really did. And he was just like, pull out your camera. I'm going to just start taking. He was like, pull out your camera and just take some pictures of me. So I pulled out my camera. It was a Canon 5D, and I really wanted to shoot him like on just something else, even a Sony A7 if I couldn't get an R, just something to show him, in his glory and how cool he is. And I also want to, show the world in the light that I see him. I don't take him as a joke because he's my uncle. Sometimes when people see him, they only see, pimp, but that there is so much more to him. And he's not a pimp. He just dresses like that. And he's a vegan, which is pretty cool. So I did a video of him just pulling up like he normally does. And he always talks to me about eating better because he's trying to get me to become a vegan as well. So I documented it and then did the edit, and I put it on my Instagram page and was just like, hey, here's my uncle. If y'all want to see more, let me know. And it just like, that video went viral. Snoop Dogg posted it, Timbaland posted it, and it just went viral. So I directed a piece for Self magazine, and that was just based on me going with my gut and documenting my uncle, something that's right in front of me. So this project makes me proud because sometimes we think there's this perfect opportunity or there's like this only one way of doing things, but that just showed me that I can be where I am, I can be in my house, I can document my family, things around me, but people will see my eye. And so that just gave me so much momentum and gave me an inspirational story for other people too. So it's just like that story hit so many points for me. A project that's recent on my mind is by my friend Victor Jackson, who is an artist, a performer, a choreographer, a singer, and he did this one music video called Venom. And Victor's an artist, and he just went with his gut and decided to direct it himself. And the video is beautiful, like from the art, how he viewed himself as art in the video. The edit, like I love how slow the edit starts and how it gets intense at the end, and it just felt very raw and authentic to him, and it was just a really beautiful piece of art. I loved it so much that I told him I want to direct your next video because that one was so amazing. And if he directed his own in that way, that just kind of continued to set the bar for me. So I would have to say I'm so inspired by so many other projects and so many other people, but that's the one that sticks out the most right now because that's the freshest on my brain. I feel like there is a responsibility for artists to be, social, be political, be all those things. If you are an artist, you can express it in anything. You can express it by wearing a shirt. You can express it by actually creating a piece of work, a short film. I always tell people, if you're an artist, you're an artist in everything. You're an artist in how you wear your hair. You are an artist in even how you cook your food. So sometimes you don't have to put that pressure on yourself of, oh, I have to create this great film to show how I feel about Black Lives Matter. You can think of other ways to do it, but think of, I think as artists, you have to figure out what speaks true to my heart. And if tweeting about Black Lives Matter is not true to you, don't do it. Do things that speak to you and are true to you. But you do have a responsibility, but just figure out what those things are that you want to lean into to speak about. Say it loud. You know what I'm saying? I am really excited about putting all my effort into just directing. It's been really hard for me to stop producing. So when people would ask me to produce, I would say yes. And then I'll be stressed out just because I'm a natural creative person, natural introvert. So producing has always been really stressful for me. Even though I've produced some really great projects. I was a post-producer on Travis Scott Sicko Mode, on Lacey Duke's Girls Need Love, on a few other videos for Lacey Dukes, for Migos, for Janelle Monáe, so many people, so many cool brands. But every single time it's like my stomach is in knots. And so, over the past year, I would still produce for people, but my stomach would be in knots, and I would be more stressed because leaning more into directing is, it's a strain on your brain. It really is tough. So as of recently, I've been utilizing my no. And I used to feel bad about it, but now I don't feel bad anymore. And I'm less stressed. My eczema doesn't, flare up as much anymore. And I'm just like really happy. I would rather say no to a producing project and just, think of my own creative projects, because God and the universe have shown me, just with my Uncle Poochie project, if I just do my own thing, then doors will open. So I'm just excited about, learning myself even on a deeper level of creative and storytelling and things that are just tough to do when you're thinking with your producer brain and a director brain. So I thank you all for this interview. This is really fun. Peace. Oh, and you can check me out, mayatable.com, on all social platforms.